This is Mr. Gillum, and today we're going to be representing real-life situations with inequalities. All right, and so we've done something similar to this with expressions where it said 4 greater than a number, or 6 less than a number, or the product of 3 and 5, and those keywords that we talk about, and we would write them in expressions. And that's kind of what we're going to do today, except for now we're going to involve inequalities. And so in this case it says Milo's Ice Cream Factory sold more than 32 waffle cones. Write an inequality that represents the number of waffle cones Milo's Ice Cream Factory sold yesterday. So it wants us to write an inequality. So our choices for inequalities are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. And when I read the problem, I kind of underline the part that really sticks out to me. It says that they sold more than 32 waffle cones. So when I think of this problem, I think more than, I think of this guy right here. It doesn't say 32 or more, which would mean this fella. It just says more than 32. So if we don't know the number they sold, but we know it's more than 32, that's how I would write that and represent it as an inequality. So like I said, this is very similar to, 4 more than a number would be n plus 4. Well, this we're trying to incorporate inequalities into our mathematical statements. So in this case, the number sold would be represented by however many they sold. We know it was greater than or more than 32. This one says that the chef at a restaurant only cooks a specialty dish when there are more than 12 diners at the restaurant. So again, it says write an inequality to represent the specialty when the specialty dish will be cooked. And so we have, we're writing an inequality. So we're thinking less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. And again, I'm going to underline the key word here. I think that it says only cooks a specialty dish when there are more than 12 diners at the restaurant. So I know that if we don't know how many are at the restaurant, we're not going to start cooking until there's more than 12. I know that this would represent more than 12. However many there are needs to be more than 12. That's when the specialty dish will be cooked. So if I wanted to graph it, of course, this is just a good review. Throw in there because I know on your study island you'll see some of these graphs as well. Maybe we can go by 4s, 4, 8, 12. So when it's greater than 12, it would mean anything on this side, and of course we wouldn't have like a 12.5 person, but you would know that 14, 13, 15, any of those numbers would make sense for when to start cooking the dish. So we're going to graph it visually. So it may ask you to graph the inequality as well. Choose some of your solution set to make sure that it makes sense, and you'll be on the right track. This problem again is very similar. It says the number 25 is less than the number of tickets sold in a day at an amusement park. Write an inequality to represent the number of tickets sold each day at the park. So again, we're writing an inequality, so we have the choices less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. These are all the types of inequalities that we have. And again, it says that we don't know the number of tickets sold, but we do know the number 25 is less than the number of tickets sold. And so we know that 25 is less than n. Or you could think of it as the number sold is greater than 25. And so one of your choices might not be 25 is less than n, although that is what it says. It says 25 is less than the number n. This one's kind of straightforward, but they might add the choice on there, n is greater than 25. Okay, and we talked about this in another video. Unlike an equation like n equals 2 or 2 equals n, you can just flip-flop them. Using the symmetric property. We can't do that with inequalities because that inequality doesn't mean balanced. Okay, it means one side is more than the other. And so if we want the n to be more, when we trade places, we need to make sure the n stays more. Okay, we need to make sure that we represent that properly. So when you flip places, we need to make sure we change the direction of the inequality as well. So just be careful there. You might see an answer on there that would be acceptable, or you might not see this answer and you need to realize that this means the same thing. 25 is less than n means the same thing as n is bigger than 25 or greater than 25. All right, the last two are I just kind of snipped out some important key words here. It says write an inequality for the following situations. A number, usually just use the variable n or x or y or p, or it doesn't matter what variable you use, an unknown, a number less than 11. Okay, so this number in 11, we know that the 11 must be bigger, or the n must be smaller. And again, a number more than 14 will be represented by the number must be bigger than 14. The only time you'll use a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, it will have to specifically say a number is less than or equal to 11, or a number is more than or equal to 14. And then this little bar means it's okay to be equal to, so that's going to be the addition you'd have to put on to those problems. All right, so that's it for today. We're just going to use inequalities to represent real life situations.